Let's start with Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Highest total on the board at 50.5 points. Over or under, and why is it an over, Geoff?
Well, it's actually an under there, pal.
What?
I mean, sorry. I mean, it's December, so maybe this is when I start becoming Johnny Under. But I want nothing to do with the over in this game. How is Atlanta going to score points? It's a team that scored 24 points over their last 3 games, and 21 of those points came against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
What the, like, this is a 30-0 game written all over it. Atlanta is 1-4 at hitting the overs in their last 5 contests. The Tampa Bay defense is just too good. I mean, what is Cordell Patterson going to play quarterback for Atlanta as well? Matt Ryan setting not career lows, but his lowest marks in over a decade, basically, in most metrics, man. I mean, I just do not see how Atlanta gets us even like 10 to 17 points here to consider the over. I really like the under in this one.
Okay, Reid, do you like the under as much as Geoff Ulrich does?
Yeah, finally, it only took Geoff, 6 months to come to his senses that all unders are hitting at like a historic rate in the NFL. You take a look at some of the teams right now, like Tampa Bay is, I think, tied for 3rd in hitting the over, and they're like 6-5 hitting the over this year. It's crazy in terms of how many teams are hitting the under, but I'm with Geoff. I mean, 27-10, 29-13, 30-0, whatever you want to call it. I see this a lot like what Tampa Bay did against the Giants, against Washington football team. Falcons are 1-4 hitting the over. And here's the one thing that I really don't like with Atlanta. Only 1 red zone target to Kyle Pitts since week 6. The bottom 4 in red zone scoring attempts and bottom 3 in plays per game over the last 3 games. What are they going to do? Absolutely nothing. Under.
Pearce, clean sweep of the unders, baby? Or are you brave enough to take that over?
I'll join the rest of the trolls and jump under the bridge and camp. I've been camped out under here for a while, so I have no problem taking the under. I don't believe in this Atlanta team. No one believes in this Atlanta team. And as Geoff mentioned, they're not scoring points. You can go back even further. They scored 13 points a couple weeks before that against Carolina. Yes, they scored 27 against New Orleans, but that was based on 3 drives and then a bomb at the end of the game. Other than that, the Atlanta offense did nothing in that game. They cannot be counted on for points, especially not against Tampa. And then from the Tampa side, they really should not go out there and go full throttle and try to show all their cards. They need to just work on winning the game, run the ball, play defense, like I've been saying all season. It's not time to throttle up yet. You got to take care of your players. Gronkowski, take it easy on him. Keep Brown out. Godwin's not 100%. No reason for Tampa to try to throw up 40 points on the board. Give me the under.
All right, Denver and Kansas City will wrap up Sunday's action inside Arrowhead with a total currently sitting at 47 points. Pearce, which way are you leaning?
For the Denver-Kansas City game, I'm going to go with the under again. I know we're expecting Kansas City to come out firing after the bye, Andy Reid, blah, blah, blah. How many times are we going to be fooled by this? I mean, how many times this year have we said, oh, yeah, Kansas City's going to fix it this week? They're going to fix it this week. There have been a couple weeks where they have fixed it, but there's been a lot of weeks where they have not fixed it. And speaking of fixed, Denver is looking a lot better on defense over their last, 4 of the last 5 games. They've held their opponents to 17 or fewer points. They've got an interception in each of the last 4 games, 6 in total. Kansas City kind of has a bit of an interception problem. The only game where the Denver defense didn't show up was against Philadelphia, where they got ran all over, which could happen. They have the 26-run DVOA, but do we expect Andy Reid, the genius, to come out of the bye week and run halfback off tackle, halfback dive? No, he's probably going to dial up a lot of crazy plays, trying to get this team moving in the right direction for the long run. And it might work in the long run, but in the short term, I don't see them being very effective or efficient. And then also Denver can't score points, so give me the under.
Jeff, you want the under in this one too?
Yeah, man, let's stick with this under theme. I mean, let's just take the under in every but I mean, I definitely like it in this one. Pearce laid out some good points, and I mean, I think Denver's defense playing good is too. But like, let's give some credit to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. That's what really has me leaning under here. It's a team that's top 5 in yards per pass attempt against over the last 3 games. They're now averaging over 2.5 sacks per game over their last 3 games as well. Like, they've picked it up. I mean, they're also 5-1 at hitting unders in their last 6 games too. Like, Kansas City, even though they pass the ball a lot, they're not playing at a fast pace in any respect, and they're not efficient with the ball in offense. Yeah, maybe, even if Kansas City puts up 30 points here, again, you're still relying on a bad offense in Denver to like get you there for the over here. So it is low. I think a lot of people are going to be tempted by it and take the over, but I really like the under in this game too.
Reid, 3 for 3?
Yeah, I'm not tempted at all. I am not the troll that has a little jewel in its belly button that Pearce was probably going to allude to at some point. Remember those? Those are great. But yeah, I'm going under. And look, Kansas City 5-6 hitting the over. Denver's 2-9. And I mean, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock looks so bad that Teddy Bridgewater had to come back with essentially half a foot or like half a leg to end that game. Like Drew Lock is historically bad, right? Broncos ranked third in total defense. But like these guys mentioned, Kansas City is playing a lot better on the defensive side. Yeah, give me the under.
All right, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Couple quarterbacks. You need to shake off the turnovers. Over or under 44 points, Geoff?
Man, I mean, this game is it just screams under to the point where I actually am going to lean over here. If you look at the historic, just even though like the last 3 years between these two teams, they've kind of split it between being like boring defensive games and then also just kind of being like sporadic offensive games that have hit the over on this mark. I think that you're getting a big overreaction here to Pittsburgh playing bad on offense last week and obviously Lamar Jackson playing bad. But let's look at these two teams. What are they bad at? They're both kind of bad defensively. I mean, the Steelers defense has been eroding. The Ravens defense can't really stop anyone either. Well, they stopped Cleveland, but like everybody stops Cleveland. So I actually think that at 44, 43, this is just too low a total. I think that these offenses are probably the superior units here, and they'll probably score enough points.
All right, Reid, over or under 44 points here?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. TJ Watt with COVID. Pat Freiermuth is probably going to be out. He's dealing with a concussion, and Robert Spillane is banged up. So the Steelers, they are going to be in a lot of hurt on both sides of the ball. And so, look, Baltimore looks bad, right? Like, Baltimore does not look like the team that we thought. And so, offensively, you get a little scared, right? They've lost to Miami. They have ugly wins for Chicago and Cleveland. And I get that, but like, I just don't think that the Steelers right now, and this I think is still shrapnel. It's still like residual after what they did after their bye, that they potentially have a chance to hit this over. So, Joe Hayden may be back, but the Steelers on a weighted defensive DVOA ranking, they're 29 in the NFL. They're just not a good defense right now. And I do think Baltimore takes this opportunity to get back into what they were doing, right? Is dominating these games with Lamar Jackson, going deep with Marquise Brown, giving, Mandrews 14,000 targets a game, maybe actually hit him, Lamar, instead of hitting the defender 3 times in a row. And I think they do get this over. I think this is too low for an NFL game.
Yeah, Pearce, you feel like Baltimore can get things right enough to hit the over here?
Yeah, I do. And I don't think that they necessarily have to get things that much more right. On my list, I've got the number 2 on most fraudulent team, but the offense hasn't looked as bad as these guys want to lead you to believe. Yeah, they got beat by Miami, but Miami blitzed them 26 times. And, that caused a bunch of problems for Lamar Jackson. You look at Pittsburgh, they're 23rd in blitz, 27th at quarterback hurries, just average when it comes to pressure, so that's not going to be an issue. And then last week, yeah, they didn't look good, but they actually did. If you watch the first half, Baltimore and Lamar Jackson were moving the ball. But 3 times he threw interceptions while they were moving the ball down, trying to squeeze the ball into a tight spot. Now, maybe they don't win. Maybe they don't cover. They will. But those are not really bad things. We want aggressive Lamar Jackson. Aggressive Lamar Jackson means points on the board. And if he throws those picks on his side of the field, then that means points for Pittsburgh, which is going to be hard to come by for Pittsburgh. But if they're working with a short field, they can make it happen. Also, I know we can't trust Pittsburgh, basically because their offensive line's been terrible. Najee Harris is getting something under 3 yards per carry. You can't run on Baltimore anyway. They might be able to pass. Baltimore's pass defense isn't that great, but incomplete passes stop the clock. That can lead to more points. Worst case scenario, Baltimore wins this game. Pittsburgh gets those garbage points like we saw last week and pushes this thing over at the very end.